everybody, this is Perch. Let's reach into the viewer mailbag. I never get. By the way, were you like me, where whenever the comics would talk about like, oh, we've got a letter and we're opening up the letter, it always seems so cheesy and tacky to me. And then here we are in the show going, hey, let's reach into the mailbag. I don't know. I guess you live long enough, you become everything you hate. Which means I'm clearly going to be a politician in the next 5 years. But if I survive that long, here's hoping I don't. Anyway, a little gallows. Thank you, Cough, for kicking in at this exact moment. A little gallows humor for you. Why not? Let's read this mail. This mail says, hey, Perch, I love your show. Don't always agree with it. Still think a lot of your audio is trash. But I appreciate everything you do. Oh, thank you. One of the things I hate about your show, I like how you pivot there. One thing that I hate about your show is mumbles. I screw you, Mumbles. Look at this. You got some hate mail. Finally, something from someone else. What they hate about the show is Mumbles. For God's sake, the bit is old and tired. We get it. Please go away. You suck. And to that other guy who likes to respond to his stuff to say you're Mumbles too, just, oh my God. Just, vulgarity. Stop. We'll just leave it at that. Just stop. Okay, there you are. Just stop. Literally, nobody thinks you're funny at this point. When is Perch going to finally get tired and just boot you from the channel? Seriously, Mumbles, we're tired of you. We're all tired of you. Nobody cares. Damn. All right, let's. We're all okay. Everybody, people seem confused. By the way, why I do this channel. It's clearly not for attention. It's not for fame. And I wish I had a better answer for you. But literally, I'm bored. It's literally, I'm bored. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not trying to rally the universe against SJWs. I'm not trying to fight against Trump. It's just, I literally want something to do. I can choose to listen to the radio. We can turn it on right now, and they're going to be playing that goddamn sunroof song. I get it. Your head's out the sunroof. Please stop. You're an idiot. I hate that song. I hate it. Also, I get the hound, the hound dog play a song, please. Bitch, please. Seriously, bitch, please. But I talk about comics, and then you guys write comments, and it's kind of fun, and that's why I do what I do. That's it. That's the entire bit. I've said this and people don't believe it. I get these mails going, you don't really believe that. I'm shocked at the subs this channel has. Thank you. I'm not doing it for that reason. I don't care. I don't need. I don't care. People are like, do you realize this guy's talking shit about you? I mean, good for them. Have at it. Why is that so hard to understand? Come on. And by the way, a lot of people take runs at me. Ethan Van Sciver about every 2 months wakes up and decides to shit on this channel and me. What's funny is a lot of these guys really would like to crap on me. None of them have figured out the thing that's actually going to get under my skin. You have not figured it out yet. It's out there. Everybody has a weakness. This is not daring you to try. You haven't figured it out. The guys over at the super liberal X-Men channel, you guys try. You send people after me. You don't get it. You do not get what it takes to get under my skin. What's funny is if you just sat down and thought about it for like 5 seconds, you would know. I've talked enough. If you paid attention at all, you'll know exactly what will get me pissed off and under my skin and bother me. People never get it. Perch sounds like he's too wishy-washy. He likes the comic industry too much. Oh, he's always trying to find a middle peaceful ground because he's a pussy. That doesn't work. By all means, keep entertaining me. If you think hard enough, you'll figure it out. Anyway, super simple. Anyway, let's get back to the mail. We went off track pretty badly there for a second. Okay, all right. So back to the mail. My real question is, what do you think happens to Marvel and DC in 5 years? I'm currently betting that either Marvel or DC or maybe both will not exist in 5 years. Both those companies are both those companies are likely to be gone and shuttered by their parent companies. Nobody is going to want to keep putting money into these two losing ventures. I predict it will be less than 5 years, maybe as fast as 2 years. What do you think? Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. That's what I think. And that is not a Pollyanna, oh boy, the industry's doing great kind of comment. It is, it doesn't matter. I was on a live stream a long time ago, and a bunch of people were on that stream, and I said, that was when people were calling comics pamphlets. Was like it was exciting for people. They were excited to call them pamphlets for, like, I don't know. This lasted like 3 months. That was a big insult. It's like, how do we shit on comic pros we don't like? Well, we'll call their products pamphlets. And then pretty soon people realize, like, pamphlets just is a weird word and awkward to say. It's like moist. I mean, all you have to do is combine those two. Marvel puts out moist pamphlets. It's like, yeah, that whole sentence sounds bad coming out of your mouth. Nobody wants to say that. So it kind of went away. But I made the comment that comics are marketing. In effect, for these big companies, comics are marketing. They are test balloons for IP. They're ways to get IP out there. They're ways to sell additional deals in licensing. I had that video like a month or two ago that it was explaining that, a lot of these deals, these licensing deals for video games and other things, come with incentive programs that the companies, meaning Disney, has to commit to. And sometimes those are comics. I know for a fact, because I've seen the contract, that the Midnight Suns video game has just such a provision inside of it. And what's funny is people came in and goes, oh, well, that's that just proves why comics shouldn't exist. And even a couple of years ago when we did this live stream and I was saying this about marketing, people were like, well, that's pathetic about comics. It's like, nah, I mean, sort of. It depends on how you look at it. Because look at it this other way. If it costs you, say, $1 million to produce a bunch of comics over a year, $1 million all in, creative talent paid, printing costs, distribution, everything. It costs you $1 million to put out these comics, but in return, you get a $20 million license out of it, or a first right of refusal, or I don't know, one of these programs where it's recoupable, where the first X amount of dollars is going to come straight to you, and then it's going to be 50%, whatever. There's a lot of different business deals, but if your business deal is, I'm going to make $40 million with a spend of $1 million, you should take that deal, jackass. That's a good deal. Definitely take that deal. And if you want to say, well, it doesn't really count as comics, I mean, sure, I guess not. It's not art for art's sake, and as a comic lover and reader, I would appreciate art for art's sake. I wish the comics just sold. Personally, I absolutely wish the comics just sold. But as a businessman, and by the way, a lot of the people who are on YouTube, a lot of people who talk about how comic pros need to be nice on Twitter because they take money out of their company's pockets and the customer's always right and all that stuff. I agree with all those things, but you know what those things are? Those are business things. Those are fucking business things. And if you can make $40 million for a spend of $1 million, yeah, you take that deal. You absolutely take that deal, and you laugh in the face of anyone who tells you that somehow that deal is not a true comic book deal. That person who says that is a broke-ass loser who never understands business. And I'm dead serious about that. So this is not me defending the quality of content that comes out from Marvel and DC, which, fuck it, is usually shitty. There's some gems in there, absolutely. There's some good comics, and I love comics, and I'm going to continue to buy comics, and I'm going to continue to read comics, good and bad, because I do find an enjoyment in comics. I've not black-pilled comics. But you know what helps comics get made? Money. And regardless of what some creator might say somewhere, like, I love socialism. Okay, cool. Writer of a 4-page reptile anthology story in Marvel Voices Volume Latino version. That's nice. Nobody gives a shit about your opinion, except maybe your 2,000 sucker followers on Twitter, but nobody gives a shit about you or your opinion. But by all means, keep saying it, because it's a free country, and I absolutely believe in the freedom of speech to say whatever dumbass thing crosses your mind. That is not the comic business. The comic business is about turning a profit, and if you can make a recoupable deal or a license deal to say, I'm going to churn out some, very uninspired nonsense comics to tie into a video game and collect a big paycheck in that regard, do it. What is wrong with you? Of course you do that deal. And anyone in the room who's like, but excuse me, this is not true art. This is not the true nature of comic books. You toss that fucker out the window. Seriously, go where the money is. Now, please, because I do love reading comics, please create something that I will actually enjoy. Use some of that extra profit that you make to put out some comics that are well written. Hire some people who are passionate. Get Jim Zub to do it. Like, take his Thunderbolts comic for the love of God. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna absolutely jack up the ending, but I'm enjoying his comic. It's fun. It's a fun comic. It definitely has a feel of West Coast Avengers. I wish it was actually on the West Coast. And I wish there was there's maybe a tiny, like, we got to get Jim Zub on the channel again. And I will say this, there's maybe a tiny bit too much meta commentary on the current state of the world. And I get that Marvel's really pushing for that, but this is an enjoyable comic. I'm having fun. I read that comic. I have fun. This is a comic that stars America Chavez in it, and it is fun. It's an enjoyable look. I like how Zub very subtly, and again, maybe it all fucks up in the end, but I like how very subtly he's given Chavez some weaknesses. And as a result, the character's 500 times more interesting. Anyway, it's just a fun comic. Make that an ongoing. Just take some of this money from this Midnight Suns deal you got going on, or the Black Panther deal that you just signed, or some of these other things. Take some of that money and put it into, like take Zub, wave a magic wand, and say, hey, you're on this comic for 36 issues, 3 years. Go. And we're locking in the artists too. There you have it. Every 6 issue, we're going to have a fill-in artist so the guy doesn't, lose his mind. But there you go. 3 years. Zub, what do you need? You need this money? Okay, we can afford that because we got all this fucking money over here. Go. Do that. Regardless. Will Marvel and DC vanish in 5 years? No, because all these other business opportunities, the things that are going around, it is profitable. It's a low spend business by and large. I wish it was a higher spend business because I wish they were forking out more cash to get better people in a lot of cases. I think you've got a lot of talent who priced their way out of Marvel and DC and now can't find their way back in. It's a hell of a thing where you get somebody who starts making a lot of money, gets very popular, can demand more money, and then suddenly, they're like, well, combo, we don't have the money to pay those people. And we now are going to justify that. We're going to make ourselves feel better by saying those people are no longer marketable to young audiences. And that's why we're not going to give, Walt Simonson money, even though Walt Simonson has now lowered his rates to the point that we totally can afford him. But fuck it. We're in this circle of doom now. Put more of this stuff in the mix. Go for it, man. Come on, make some good comics. You got some extra cash, pull it in. But no, the comics aren't going anywhere. And I know, by all means, this channel's been running for what, 3 years? I don't know. 4 years? It's been running for a while. But for every single year of this channel's existence, somebody has showed up to tell me that Marvel and DC will not last the year. We're still, what was it, 2021? 2020? I've lost track. DC Comics was supposed to end in July of whatever year Future State was, whatever fucking year that was. It was supposed to end. That was 2021, I guess. So we're like a year and a half away from that. And lots of people have made lots of well, I didn't mean actually end. I meant blah, 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 blah. No, you said end. The articles are still up there. Cosmic Book News saves fucking everything for no apparent reason. You can go there and you can see them quoting tweets because the guys take screenshots rather than put the tweet in there. So when you delete your tweet later, the screenshot still lives on. Lots of people who said that DC is going to be over, Marvel is going to be over, Marvel is going to end in 2018 and 19 and 20. It's not going to end. Not like this. Will these companies go out and license someday? Yeah, maybe. But even in that state, it's not going to end. Like, is it a big victory if DC Comics, the entity, stops publishing DC Comics, but they license it out to Boom, and Boom starts publishing DC Comics, and it's got the DC logo on there, and it's the same DC characters? Is that some kind of moral victory that DC as a company stopped publishing comics themselves and licensed it out to somebody else who's publishing the same goddamn comics? I don't know. Maybe that's a win for somebody. I mean, no, it's not a win for anybody. The comics are still coming out. Who gives a fuck? I mean, anyway, make some good comics. That's what we got to focus on. Make some good comics. But no, the comic companies aren't going away. There's still too much money in it. And again, it's not crazy money. It's not big spend of money, but it's more money coming in than going out. That is absolutely a true statement. So, they're going to continue. And by the way, who knows? In like a year and a half, maybe Marvel Comics is like, you know what? No more Spider-Man. No more anything. Fuck it. You guys are all losers. We're not putting up with your shit anymore. The comics are all gone. And they cancel everything. And then you'll be able, think of that great moment. You'll be able to come onto this channel and you'll be able to say, Perch, you dumb motherfucker. We got you. They're all dead now. You are wrong. You're wrong. And then I will look at that comment and I'll go, wow, here is a moment of self-reflection. A place where I made a prediction turned out not to be accurate. I should probably spend some time collecting my... Nah, fuck it. I'll just delete the comment. The end. Ha. Ha. I'm just joking. I wouldn't delete the comment. Who's kidding who? I'm not even... I wouldn't even see that comment. I look at the comments from the current video. You could go back on an older video. Try it. Go back on one of the videos from like 2-3 years ago. Like 30,000 videos before, ago. Back when it had the old shitty thumbnail. No, not the recent shitty thumbnail. The one from like 2.5 years ago. Go into one of those videos and just type something out like, Perch, you dumb motherfucker. Don't say that because YouTube will block it. But, you could say like, Perch, I don't know. Come up with whatever insult you want. Like, I dare you to respond to this, Perch, you asshole. I will never see it. It'll just sit up there. And if you get a couple of your friends to upvote it, it'll be the top comment. And that will be the memorial to your insult. And then we all win. Right? We don't all win. But, maybe. I don't know. Go give it a try. Sure. Parakeet. Anyway, thanks for listening. Fuck Arbors.